On the northern edge of South America, a country disappears into green. Not easy to enter. And harder to move through. Vast stretches lie beyond the coast. Rarely seen. Water becomes direction. The ground refuses straight paths. And every route demands time. This is Guyana. Guyana sits on South America's north coast, but the map hides the harder truth. The interior is ruled by distance and the time to cross it. Most people live near the coast. Beyond it, forest quickly stops feeling close. From above, the canopy looks smooth and endless. Underneath, it becomes roots, heat, wet ground, and slow decisions. Dark rivers cut through green like corridors. Straight lines are rare, inland, folded, and wet. Even a narrow opening matters here. The forest can close around a path almost as soon as people make it. Vines and saplings reclaiming ground overnight. Tall rainforest trees reveal the scale of the interior, where height, shade, and humidity stack the world in layers. Water, hills, and vegetation turn distance into feeling, not map measurement. Raised cabins at the forest edge hint at the rule of this country. Build lightly, because the land stays in charge. At ground level, the forest becomes a chamber of warnings, where leaves move before the animal is fully seen, and stillness carries more weight than sound. A snake among leaves changes the mood. Attention becomes survival. Reptiles belong to this slow heat, using branches, shadows, and stillness as carefully as any trail, their patience matching the forest's own rhythm. Green iguanas turn a sunlit branch into a lookout, then vanish before eyes catch. On trunks and leaves, iguana color is not decoration, but part of the forest wall. Some climb for warmth, some drop toward water, and all of them make the canopy feel less empty than it looks. The same animal can seem lazy one second and sudden the next, its slow blink hiding a sharp watch on every branch and shadow around it, which is exactly how this forest protects itself, by keeping movement unpredictable. In this chamber, stillness is active. A body can wait, listen, and measure danger without moving at all. Sun patches draw iguanas briefly from the shade. The forest works through hiding and movement. A single branch, one leaf, and a narrow strip of light can be enough space for an entire daily routine of basking, watching for insects, and waiting without hurry. The deeper the green becomes, the more the animals seem built for partial appearances rather than full introductions, a tail vanishing behind thick bark as you draw closer. Reptile life gives the chamber its first rule. Movement is never casual when the ground is wet and crowded with leaves that could hide anything. By the time the camera rises, the forest teaches us to read small changes as events. Higher up, distance turns vertical, and monkeys use the canopy as a road that never touches the mud, moving through upper branches with a confidence impossible on the damp forest floor where every step sinks into wet leaves and roots. The canopy becomes their highway, a network of suspended roots, crossing points, resting branches, and escape paths that stay dry while the world below stays soaked. Long limbs, gripping tails, and quick group decisions make the treetops feel like a second layer of travel where momentum is the main currency and hesitation costs time. A monkey crossing branches shows life avoiding the slow forest floor. The canopy carries families, food searches, alarms, and shortcuts overhead. From below, the movement looks playful. Inside the forest, it is survival at height. Small primates flash between leaves so quickly that the forest seems to move before any single animal appears, a blur of limbs vanishing into the next tree. Their world is measured in gaps, vines, and safe landings, not in the straight distance between 2 points, but in the reach of a limb and the spring of a branch beneath them. One branch after another becomes a route map in balance, memory, and attention. The camera catches faces a moment, then the chamber swallows them into shade and noise. This is where Guyana's remoteness becomes intimate. A whole society can exist above the path without using it, swinging through branches while the trail below stays empty and the forest floor remains untraveled. Canopy life changes scale. The road is around the animals. Some movements are cautious, others explosive, and together they make the treetops feel alive in every direction. A pause on a branch can mean feeding, listening, guarding, or simply deciding which green tunnel opens next. Each choice a small map of risk and reward. The forest does not need open space to feel large. Vertical life gives it another dimension, stacking paths where the ground cannot follow. By staying overhead, these animals turn the hardest part of the interior into their advantage, making height the safest route through a crowded forest. The chamber keeps building upward, from wet leaves to high crossings where distance is solved by reach and not by walking the floor. In finer branches, small primates become quick shapes, bright hands, and sudden calls through green. Their size changes the rhythm. They use thin roots that larger animals cannot trust for long, making every narrow branch a private corridor. A tiny body in a huge forest makes the place feel even larger, because survival depends on precision in every grip, every leap, and every pause to scan the leaves for danger. They do not need to dominate the canopy. They need to know exactly where the next safe hold begins. Brief glimpses are enough to show the pattern. The forest rewards lightness, memory, and speed. Seconds of movement reveal a hidden map of branches and feeding places. For small animals, details matter: vine, fruiting edge, shadowed fork. Nothing about this feels like an empty wilderness. The green is crowded with lives tuned to different heights, from the wet ground layer to the open canopy, each level holding its own traffic and rules. The chamber now feels layered from floor to crown. with each level solving distance in its own way, from ground crawling to branch leaping. When the animal disappears, the lesson remains: the forest holds more movement. Small canopy life keeps moving. What matters is hidden traffic overhead. The interior is not silent or still. It is busy in ways that often arrive as flashes, not scenes. Then the chamber opens at the edges, where birds use clearings, wet ground, and branches as lookout points, scanning the forest border for movement and opportunity below. Caracaras and wetland birds watch the green world from open air. A bird on a branch can read the forest edge like a map of food, danger, and weather. Near water, reflections, reeds, and mud create new opportunities. Swamp birds make the forest feel porous, as if trees are giving way to channels and ponds. The eye moves from leaves to sky, but the story is still about access, where life can land, feed, and wait. Open patches do not break the wilderness. They show how many borders exist inside it, between water and mud, grass and forest, sunlight and shade. A single bird lifting off can connect forest, wetland, and river faster than any road could, stitching habitats together with flight alone. The chamber has widened. The green world includes water, air, mud, and watchful edges. The boy holds the baby anteater gently. The giant anteater looks almost prehistoric, but its life is precise. Claws for opening nests, a long tongue for feeding. Savanna edges and forest margins show many habitats touching and overlapping here. Even slow movement covers a world of scent trails and termite mounds. Human contact with wildlife here feels close, but the larger lesson is restraint. This frontier is shared, not owned. The chamber ends where it began, with the ground reminding us that distance is also texture, smell, and patience. Even quiet creatures make the forest feel inhabited from every angle. After so many hidden routes, the forest releases one clear answer: to live here, every species must negotiate the land. Rivers become the main road where pavement never arrives. Here, water is not scenery. It is access, direction, and sometimes the only reliable line through the interior when the land offers no alternative. A narrow boat can become transport, supply line, family vehicle, and lifeline all at once. The river decides the pace before any traveler does, bending around forest that refuses a shortcut. From the bank, a journey may look simple. From the boat, every bend changes weather, depth, and risk, turning a peaceful stretch into a careful negotiation with the current. Engines, paddles, cargo, and conversation all belong to the same moving corridor of brown water and green walls, a shared passage through the interior. Villages and landing points gather where the river allows them, because access begins with a reachable bank and a place to tie a boat. This is the opposite of a highway. The route is alive, rising, falling, narrowing, and shifting completely with each season, forcing every traveler to read the water and constantly adjust plans based on what the river decides to allow today. A boat crossing open water can feel free, yet it is still following the oldest instruction in the landscape. Supplies move the way the country permits them to move, one landing, one current, one careful turn at a time, each stretch requiring local knowledge to navigate. The deeper the journey, the more obvious that distance here is negotiated, not conquered. Water joins communities the forest keeps apart, making the river boundary and bridge. Engine sound does not erase remoteness. It proves how hard people work against it. On these interior waterways, modern life travels inside an ancient shape carved by rain and time, the same channels used long before engines arrived. Every crossing carries the same question, not how far is the destination, but what the river will allow today. With its depth shifting after each rainfall and its current changing direction, with the season's mood and sandbars hidden just below the surface. By this water road's end, the map feels more a suggestion than a promise. The forest stands on both sides, watching the passage. Rivers make Guyana reachable, but they also remind every traveler who is really setting the terms, the current deciding when you leave and when you arrive. On roads, the struggle shifts from current to mud. The Linden to Leatham corridor links forest, settlements, and southern savanna. Dry season roads can feel like progress. After rain, they become negotiation. Trucks here are not just vehicles, but proof that connection needs patience, repair, and luck. The road does not defeat the frontier. It shows how much effort connection still demands, every mile a compromise between what engineers planned and what the land allows to stay open. Beyond the dense forest, the Rupununi opens into savanna and wetland, changing the story without ending the remoteness because the open land brings its own obstacles of flood, distance, and seasonal isolation that keep the frontier feeling vast. Seasonal water can remake open grass into temporary channels. Here, distance spreads outward instead of upward, and the horizon becomes another kind of challenge. Wetland grass and trees loosen the forest grip. Animals, people, and roads respond to the same question. Is land solid today or waterlogged tomorrow? The savanna proves that openness is not the same as access. A wide view can still be hard to cross when the ground turns soft with rain and the heat presses in from all sides. Across the interior, community life follows water, clearings, and ground you can trust. Houses rise on posts where damp earth and flooding make elevation part of everyday design, lifting daily life above the wet ground. A stilted floor is more than architecture. It is a practical answer to rain, insects, mud, and changing water levels that can turn solid ground into marsh after just one overnight storm. Boats and landings shape daily routines like streets. The frontier is not empty, it is inhabited through choices that respect the land's difficulty. A clearing is valuable because it gives light, workspace, and a pause in green pressure. Children, families, animals, and tools all share the same adapted edge between settlement and wilderness, where daily life happens in the space where forest meets home. Lodges and river stops receive travelers without making the forest easy. Older river traces show access carrying power, trade, and risk. History here did not move only by road, it moved by water, labor, defense, and the slow reach of river corridors. The human layer adds a different kind of resilience, quieter than wilderness but just as shaped by place. A resilience built from knowing which trees hold their ground in storms, which riverbanks flood first, and which clearings offer the best shelter from the wet season's heaviest downpours. People work with geography, adjusting homes and movement to match. Rewa appears below, small against the surrounding forest. The final destination matters. It is beautiful, but protected by the difficulty around it. Fairview shows how settlement stays small inside distance. Animals, rivers, roads, savanna, and settlements share one force: distance. Distance has been the main character, shaping every crossing before the famous view finally appears from beyond the forest edge. Only now does the journey reach Kaieteur, where the Potaro River drops through Kaieteur National Park, a place that arrives not as a destination, but as a culmination of every river bend, every forest wall, and every wet mile that came before this moment of open air and falling water. After so much forest and water, the waterfall feels less like a postcard and more like a verdict, the kind of place that demands silence, because words cannot describe what happens when a whole river suddenly drops into a gorge carved over millennia by water and gravity alone. Kaieteur is often described as one of the world's great single-drop waterfalls, but scale is only part of its power, and the real force is where it stands. The real force is the setting, a vast interior that keeps the fall from becoming ordinary or overfamiliar, a place so far from regular traffic that each visitor arrives after a journey long enough to measure the distance in days rather than minutes. Mist rises from the gorge, and the surrounding forest makes the drop feel protected rather than displayed. Here, water does not decorate the landscape. It breaks through it with a violence the map could never explain, cutting a gash through solid rock that widens and deepens with every wet season's downpour. This is a place where the river has been carving its way downward for ages, stripping away layers of forest and soil to reveal the stone foundation beneath the green canopy. The Potaro carried the story to the edge, where movement becomes falling and spray. A viewpoint shows the waterfall, not the distance giving it meaning. The gorge keeps scale small, forcing the eye to measure power, not convenience. This is the whole route's payoff. Remoteness preserves intensity, not emptiness, a concentration earned by difficulty of arrival. Kaieteur lands harder because it arrives late, after the forest has made the audience understand the cost of access. Every river mile and every hour of travel, adding weight to what could otherwise be just another waterfall, viewed from a parking lot. The waterfall is not separate from the rivers, roads, wildlife, and communities before it. It is their climax, the moment all those routes converge into a single drop. Every layer of the journey prepares this moment when distance turns to sound and falling force. The interior keeps its greatest image behind effort, and that effort changes how the image is seen. Guyana is not remote because nothing is there. It is remote because what is there has not been made easy. On the map, it looks an edge, inside, a world on its own terms.